So we have 9.5 kilowatt solar on top of the roof, and then that's connected to a 15 kilowatt Franklin battery. Our motivation for going solar right now had to do with a few different things. Our number one motivation was cost reduction. Our power bills have been climbing up and up and up. And then we saw a neighbor put some solar on his house a few months ago, so that encouraged us to look into it a little bit more seriously. And then it became clear that Congress was going to get rid of the 30% tax credit at the end of this year. So if we were going to do it, we wanted to make sure that we got it in so that our payback period was as quickly as possible. I got about 5 or 6 different estimates and found that there were a combination of national companies that will kind of outsource installation to you. And then I found that there were some more local installers, either in the Atlanta area, North Georgia, or even Southeast Regional. It became important to us to find somebody that was closer to us physically. The warranties behind equipment is of course really important, but the secondary part is the warranty that an installer will provide on their work. And being able to have somebody close to us in the case that there was a problem that could come out and be responsive to our needs was really important to us. Outside of that, it was just talking to the different salespeople and engineers that Better Tomorrow employs. That just made us feel comfortable with them as a company. They seemed like they care about what they do. They seem to care about their customers, and they seem like they're going to be around for a while. It helps out if we ever need. When Better Tomorrow came out to install the system, they also had been in close contact with Franklin, the battery manufacturer, and I'd reach out to Franklin as well, and Franklin was good enough to send a representative for our install. It took 2 days. They sent 2 teams, one team working on the battery and the Franklin smart home stuff. Another team came out at the same time to start installing the panels on the roof. And they worked all day, 2 days, and by the end of that second day, everything was up and running, which I was really surprised by, that we were already making our own power after just 2 days. I'd say first think about what is making you curious about solar. What is your main motivation? For us, again, the number one thing was long-term cost. This is our long-term home. We saw our energy costs creeping up and up and up. We wanted a little bit more control over them. We're not going to produce enough to have a zero energy bill every month, but we can already see evidence that over half of what we were paying last month is what we're going to pay this month, and that feels great. On top of that, we think our energy costs are going to be more consistent, so instead of having the huge fluctuation in the summer and the relatively low cost in the winter, now that's going to be much more evened out, which makes us feel good. And then the last thing was adding the battery was important to us, because we've been in a couple of power outages. It's not too much of a problem around here, but sometimes we work from home, and in the event of a long-term power outage, having our battery, being able to produce our own power, would allow us to keep working and keep functioning like normal. And I think if anybody cares about, if they're going to be in a long-term situation in their house, and they care about reducing and stabilizing their power consumption and their costs, or they experience power outages, it's a really good way to deal with those.